FPL Game Week 38 transfer targets. For the last time this year, we'll be going through the Vert verified power ranking, my top 5 for the next 5, but for the next one game week really. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe, and let's get into it. What's up? It's FPL Vert, where arrows go green, but unfortunately, and probably at the worst time possible as well, after 3 straight green arrows, we have a red arrow. So we'll talk about that in the team selection video later, probably tomorrow. But just a quick look at player fitness as we head into the final game week of the season. And Eddie Howe said this morning, on Friday morning, that Alex is doing okay. He hasn't trained with us yet, but he's made good progress, and that the next few days will be crucial to his availability. If there's a chance, we'll only play him if he's fit to contribute. So to me, it makes it seems like maybe he was a bit of a doubt for the Arsenal game. They probably saw that as like a free hit and probably not worth risking an injury for, seeing that they just now need to win against Everton to qualify for the Champions League. So if you want my personal opinion, I do think Isak will be fit to play, so definitely do not sell him. Newcastle early news doesn't really happen in terms of like leaks, but definitely just wait it until Sunday, because of course the deadline is all at the same time for every game. So that's my advice on that one. And then for Arsenal, yeah, it looks like Saliba and Timber are not going to be playing against Southampton. So if you have them, probably bench if you can. But it does make someone like Ben White a bit of an option. So we'll talk about that later. So into the Vert verified power ranking for the last time this season, and we do have Raya at number 1 in the goalkeepers. Of course, I would strongly urge you to probably not make a goalkeeper transfer, but of course, if you're maybe looking at a defender transfer, or just maybe curious to see which are the best defenses for the 1 week, this is what this is good for. So David Raya is currently level on clean sheets with Matt Sells of Nottingham Forest, and of course, if he keeps 1 clean sheet this week, he's guaranteed to keep to win the Golden Glove, even if Sells keeps 1, which I probably think is a little less likely. So I do think the Arsenal team will probably be head screwed on for David Raya. Of course, it'll be a great achievement to win the Golden Glove in back-to-back seasons. Great achievement for the team as well. So I do think that it won't be a bit of a jolly for the Arsenal. Of course, Kepa is hosting Leicester. It sounds like Vardy won't be playing, so maybe one less attacker to worry about, but I don't think you'd be wanting to really bank on Bournemouth for defence. And then the rest will just make up the numbers, if I'm being totally honest. So if you're looking at the best defence for this week, it's definitely Raya and Arsenal. So into the defenders, and I think, you know, if you do have to make a transfer in defence, because that is a position for some people might have Saliba, some people might have Timber, might not want to move to Saka or another forward perhaps. So if you're looking for a defender, I think the number 1 pick this week has to be Milos Kerkez. Of course, Leicester really don't score many goals, and they're getting relegated for a reason. And I do think it'll be a sunny Sunday on the coast. In Bournemouth, of course, Kerkez has had a stellar campaign, and he might have earned himself a move elsewhere, namely Liverpool, the champions. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch over the summer. We can do some pre-season content as well once some transfers have arrived, and maybe when the game has updated as well. But yeah, I have Kerkez number 1. We'll of course have Wan-Bissaka number 2. I think he's a bit of a sneaky pick, because pretty much no one's going to get to him, I don't think, unless you already own him. I don't think people will really be bringing him in, but he's personally second on mine. Obviously, he kind of let me down this week because I started him over Konza, who got 15 points, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Totally not salty about that. But yeah, I'm not expecting really a clean sheet, but I do think there's an attacking return, seeing as he's got 2 attacking returns in the last 3 game weeks. Then Ben White is here because, of course, both Timber and Saliba are out, so you're expecting that I will definitely play. Whether he plays right back is another question. But of course, as mentioned, I do think Arsenal will try to keep a clean sheet, because David Raya requires 1 clean sheet to secure back-to-back Golden Gloves, which would be a great achievement for the team and defensive setup as well. Then we got Livramento, which pretty much just means the Newcastle defence, but I think Livramento is the most attacking. It's basically playing wing back at the moment. It remains to be seen if they're going to continue with that against Everton, because of course Everton don't really like to come out and play. They like to stay deep, and Newcastle need to win. So remains to be seen how they attack this. Hopefully it'll be a Dan Burn goal, because of course I haven't actually received any of his goals since owning him on game week 30, which has been quite funny. And then of course Cons is here because they're playing Manchester United away, a wounded Manchester United, as has to be said, and of course Villa have it all to play for, and well, Man United will be playing just for pride, it seems. So Konsa's good here, but I don't think many people will be starting him if I'm on it. And into the midfielders, where it's always the most exciting, and we do have Jarrod Bowen at number 1. A lot of questions about captaincy this week, and the way I see it is Bowen is what you call a consistent steady Eddie. So he's someone to own in your team. He'll just tick along very nicely. But if you want my honest opinion, I don't think he's the best captain. I don't see West Ham scoring 2-3 goals at Ipswich. They'll maybe score 1 and it could be him, but I don't think that's the best way to go. And of course Ipswich, they're at home. I think the fans will be understanding that they've jumped up 2 leagues in 2 years. So getting relegated from the Premier League is not the end of the world at all. I don't think McKenna will be getting sacked. He's probably going to get poached. Actually, it might seem that's most likely. So I'm not expecting Ipswich to just roll over and you get beaten. And obviously West Ham aren't a team to hand out thrashings anyway. So yes, I think Bowen's the best midfielder to get if you don't own him. But I don't think I would be captaining him. That's just my personal opinion. And then of course we have Saga here as well. Different sort of reasons to not captain is more just because he's blanked 7 game weeks in a row. So do you really want to trust your armband with someone that's very clearly out of form and is away? Of course, maybe that's not the right logic to use, because of course Salah is going to be home to Crystal Palace. But the difference with Salah is that he just missed a massive chance. And I think the Liverpool have been basically on the beach for, well, when did they secure the Premier League? Game week 34? Was it against Tottenham? So obviously they've gone abroad, they've gone on holiday, they've come back. I do think they will sit up straight for this one, because it is the last game of the season. It's at home, it's just before their title lift as well, and they are facing a team that have also got a lot to be happy about as well. In fact, Crystal Palace will be having their trophy parade the next day as well. So I'm expecting a pretty open game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace. I don't think Arsenal-Southampton will be such an open game. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think the 2 captain picks are basically Salah and Saka. But I think I just think Liverpool will be a bit more attacking at home than Arsenal will be away, personally. And Arsenal haven't actually been attacking that well recently anyway. So I think I think the question is more about which game will have more, which team is more likely to score 2 goals. And I think that's definitely Liverpool. So Salah's my best captain this week, and that's why he's here, even though he's been kind of diabolical himself in terms of form. Then Semenyo is here just because Kluivert clearly got some minutes risk. So I think if you want to have a Bournemouth midfielder for the Leicester game, it would have to be Semenyo. And then Mbeumo is here just because he's just been great the whole season, and he is another one that probably moves over the summer as well. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes and if he keeps penalties, because I'm not sure if he would if he moves to Newcastle, because of course Isak will take the penalties. If he moved to Arsenal, maybe Mbeumo takes the penalties, you never know. But yeah, let's see what happens. Into the forwards, and I don't think there's a better transfer target this week than EVANILSON of Bournemouth. I think he's had a great first season joining from Porto, and of course Leicester don't exactly provide the sternest defence. In fact, they've actually conceded 2 goals in 11 of their last 3 away matches in the league. So EVANILSON has to be here. Again, I don't think I would captain him, because I just think when you think about the likelihood of returns, I think he's likely to return, but with Bournemouth's score, it could be anyone. It could be literally anyone. Whereas someone like Salah, of course, is on penalties. EVANILSON isn't on penalties anymore. Of course, he missed one against Chelsea earlier in the season, and then Kluivert assumed the responsibility. So great to own, but just kind of like Bowen, I don't think I'd captain him. And then Watkins, I think Watkins and Wissa are basically the same, really. I think Watkins is just a bit higher just because you're expecting United to put up less of a fight than Wolves, really. But you never know, because maybe United are trying to end the season well after what's been a terrible week for them. Unlucky lads. And then Wissa, of course, is 1 goal away from 20. So maybe I made a mistake in trying to differentiate myself, not owning him, because I went for Cunha instead. But I'm still hopeful of a Cunha masterclass in his last game. Of course, difficult to really recommend going for Cunha, because of course he was benched in his last game, but he was also, this is his last game before he moves to Manchester United. So I'm hoping he gets to send off with a start and hopefully a few returns. But yeah, you'll see in my picks who my favourite 3 are in the next slide. And then Havertz is a bit of a Westfield pick, because obviously it could be Marino, it could be Havertz. So this is more dependent on if there's early team news, because of course an Arsenal centre forward against Southampton is always going to be a good pick. So So for the last time this season, we'll be looking at the Vert verified picks of the week. Of course, this would usually be a wildcard draft, but seeing as there's only one game week left, this is pretty much a free hit draft. So definitely an Arsenal triple up, seeing as they're playing Southampton. Definitely a Bournemouth triple up as they're playing Leicester. We've got a Wan-Bissaka and Bowen double up, because of course they do actually work in tandem sometimes. They've actually assisted each other twice in the last 3 game weeks, so really profitable option if we can get a goal from them. Of course, we have Watkins going away to Manchester United. We have Isak here just because of what Eddie Howe said earlier today on Friday morning, and he'd be the vice, but I do think you just have to back Salah at home. He's the king of Anfield. He's had a great season. He's going to win all the individual awards. Liverpool won the Champions League. They're facing a team that's won the FA Cup. I just think there's going to be the most goals in that game. So I do think that would be my captain. So that's the team. So thank you for watching throughout the season. Of course, this is my first year of creating content. I'm open to any feedback, both positive and negative. I'll be looking over the summer to improve in any way possible as well. Probably add a camera of myself talking throughout the slides is probably the first way to go. I'm also looking to start streaming as well. So if you're interested in that, maybe, definitely give this a thumbs up. Drop any comments. Definitely provide any feedback if you want to be public on the comments, or if you want to DM me privately, that's fine. But yeah, thanks. I mean, close to 300 subscribers in 1 year. I've never created content before, so this is actually a first foray for me. So thanks for the support, and I will see you for the team selection video later.